Let's go. We're in business now. We're cooking. What's up, YouTube? How's it going, everybody? We're over here gonna be streaming and doing our thing. And my other live is not working over there. I don't know why. We'll see if it starts picking up on YouTube. Let's go, YouTube. But we are definitely live. It looks like we're doing good on YouTube. How is everybody's week going? Hopefully everyone's out there running freight, making some money, having a great time. You know, I did a load on Monday and then I worked with my student for the last 3 days straight and he is doing excellent. I'm actually gonna miss this guy whenever he gets off my truck because we just man we jive, like we get along, we like we hang out. It's been fun. It's gonna suck whenever he goes on to TNT training. Great thing is that his TNT trainer is one of my old students. They're actually brother-in-laws, so that's a plus. TNT, he's gonna know what to, he already knows his TNT trainer, and that was one of the conditions of me training him. Is I was all like, look, I don't mind training you. Like, I'll train you, but I want you to do his TNT. And he's like, yeah, yeah, I planned on doing his TNT. I was like, cool. Because that on the job training, that TNT where you're actually going to the shippers, receivers, you're sleeping while the truck's moving, you have a CDL and you're out there working it, that's the hardest part. Hardest part of the whole training process is that TNT. So, it's a pain. It's a hard thing to do. But if you make it through that TNT, it's worth it. Get your own truck. They're thinking about running teams together, so they're gonna see how the PSD or the TNT, how it is as the trainer paying the student on the truck, and if they're making great money, then they plan on team driving. So that's pretty good. Mike Davenport still haven't been contacted by my recruiter. Hey Mike, go ahead and in the description on some of my other videos. I don't know about this live, but uh go ahead and hit up my recruiter, Jenny Trans. Hit her up. Go ahead and like send her a voicemail or call the number that's on there. Leave a voicemail with your name and your phone number and tell them that you put in your application. Um see what's going on, like check the status of it. It might have not got sent or something like that. I would just reach out to them and find out if you can find out anything going on with that application, because I've seen some stuff like applications don't get sent, or there was a hiccup and they lost it, whatever the case may be. you know get that get it fixed. Get it fixed. Okay. Yeah, Heather hasn't called me back at all. Okay, Heather's your recruiter. Leave her. Well, I guess you left her a voicemail if you said she hasn't got back with you. Go ahead and hit up mine. It doesn't hurt to hit up more than one. So, don't give up. Just keep on trying. Yeah, I'd hit them up. The more you're hitting them up, the more they know that you want this. So that's the way I look at it. Whenever I applied, oh man, it was different whenever I applied, because whenever I put in my application, so like as soon as I hit send on that application and my phone rung like that, and I was like, wow, that was quick. So the phone rung, boom, answered the phone. I was like, hey, hello, this is Daniel, blah blah blah. And they just started talking, and I was like, okay, I gotta get, like, what was I gonna ask? And then I was like, just tell me everything. Like, we were going through stuff. They were talking about cent per mile. They were talking about like revenue. They were talking about a lot of stuff. So, I get you always have like pen and paper ready for whenever these you get a hold of your recruiter. That way you can just write down everything that they tell you, because that's what I like to do. I like to write it all down, and then, you know, I want to make sure that, hey, what they told me is legit. Backwoods, what's going on, Backwoods? How's it going, brother? You out there keeping America going? But yeah, that's just how it was. One of the places that we called was US Express, because me and my friend, we were coming out here as a team. So we called US Express. They gave us different numbers. The numbers didn't match. But whenever we called Prime, he got information from his recruiter. I got information from mine. We had different recruiters. We wrote that stuff down and it all matched. So we were all like, okay, well, Prime seems like they're winning. And that's why I ended up at Prime instead of US Express or Schneider, any other place that I looked into, because I did look into other companies before I came out here. I didn't have all this nice stuff like YouTube to go look at. I mean, YouTube existed, but back then I wasn't big on searching stuff on like YouTube and TikTok and all this. TikTok wasn't even a thing, but I wasn't good at looking for information like that. And now this is a excellent tool to get some information. Uh, Mike says I applied 21 years ago the first time. Had a better job coming along. Calvin says, "Man, I really wanted to update video with you, but I got to load quick." Yeah, bro, I wanted to too, but I know you were trying to get out of there. You came in to take those classes, and I know that the truck's not moving, you're not making money, so I didn't want to keep you either. I was like, go make your money. Uh, you he did great today, Calvin. He did great today. We got like, bro, he we flew through that test. Like he did. I gave him my test. It wasn't the real test. The real test is tomorrow, but I gave him my test. He did great. So I expect him to do great tomorrow too. I expect him to. Prime Trainer Tim says, "I'm with you. Let's go, Trainer Tim." It's a hard name to say. Like, uh, I would take Prime out of the name and just be like Trainer Tim here. I can say that better. Prime Trainer Tim, that's a lot of stuff to say. Tim's a great guy. I met Tim several times. Real great guy. Death says, "Good evening. I'm all set for arriving on the 1st of June at 5:30 in the morning." Let's go. Which terminal are you arriving to? You coming to Springfield? You going to Pittston? You going to Salt Lake? Where you going? Calvin says, "I had no doubt you get them ready." Hey, Calvin came out there and he was taking his classes and he was all like, "Man, like, y'all are out there just like doing it." And look, my student I got right now, he's so good. I wasn't. You don't even really have to pay attention to him. You're just like, "Man, go do it again. Go do it again." Like he picked it up quick. He's a fast learner, real fast learner, and he's he's really good at listening and following directions. So like, man, that he's been killing it. Like I've been out there just like, I'm all like, "Dude, we finished everything I wanted to get done today. Let's do it all again." Like he's he picks it up so fast. In fact, I went from training one way to training a different way just because I was like, "Man, he got that down. What the heck? Let's do it like this." So we were whipping it in the spot. And on test day, that's the hardest backing you'll ever do right there, is because there's lines on the ground. I put Calvin in the truck, so Calvin jumped in the truck. I was like, "Hey man, go for it. Try it out. Let's see if you can still do it." And he tried to do it, and like he was having problems with it. But like I told Calvin, I was all like, dude, if you were in a tight dock like Jersey, wherever, real tight spot, you're gonna back it in there no problem. It's gonna be like no pull ups. You're gonna back it off the street around some buildings right into that thing, no problem. But whenever you have just lines on the ground, you're kind of careless with the running over a line. It's just a line on the ground. I'll be the first to admit it. Hey, I'll run over a line on the ground whenever there's empty spots. I'm all like, yeah, I'll just back up somewhere close to it, then I'll pull up and just straight line it in there. We're just trying to work easier. So, test day is kind of the hardest spot you back into because there's nothing around it and you can't hit the lines. In an empty truck stop, say there's an empty truck stop with no center spots, so there's no pull throughs. Let's get that out of the way right now. If you're in an empty truck stop with no pull throughs and you're all like, you're going to back it into a spot, you're going to pull up a couple times because you're going to be like, let's get it close and then pull up and then straight line back it in. But if you're ever in a tight one that's super packed in there, not much room, man, you back it in there without a pull up because every wheel turn you make counts 20 times more. So you have to be real careful with your wheel turns and you're more accurate with them. Jeff, what's up, Jeff? Flatbed gang in the house. Jeff, he loves those emotes like flatbed gang. I forgot I had those in there. I haven't looked at those emotes in a long time. Slowpoke. Heard someone say Salt Lake City. Sub twisted. Oh yeah, Salt Lake City. That's Slowpoke's home right there. That's his favorite terminal. It's not my favorite terminal, but it's Slowpoke's. I need to go check it out. So like I'm thinking about with my next student just going straight over the road with them. So we're gonna see what happens. But I was thinking about doing that, and if I do that, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna tell my fleet manager, hey, I have not seen the new Salt Lake City terminal. Like, is there any way you can get me up there? Like, send me a load up there or something. So I would like to see it and see the changes that are made, how much they improved it up there compared to what it used to be. Because of that nightmare of a wash bay and then the showers, like no, like it was so bad at that terminal. I would park at a truck stop whenever I was there. I wouldn't even park in there. I just I just wasn't about that life for that terminal. I've stayed a couple nights there before though. I've stayed not consecutive, but I've stayed the night there a couple times. My trainer, he parked there for like a day for his reset or something. So I ended up getting stuck there for a while that day. And then when we were running teams, my teammate drove in there and he was all like, "Man, I want to go to the terminal. I haven't seen it." And we went in there and I was like, "Yeah, this sucks." And then I think even my first PSD student that I did, the first one I ever took to TNT, I mean, I did it from PSD all the way through. I took them all the way through the program. Uh, we got stuck up there. I forgot what happened. I think we delivered somewhere and we picked up a trailer in the area and the trailer was broken and we had to take it to that yard. And when we took it to the yard and dropped it off, they were all like, "We don't got no freight. Try back tomorrow." So it took us a while to get out of there. That says if I'm your student, I'm willing to do long haul. Let's go. When do you're set to arrive the first at 5:30 in the morning? You never know. We might get linked up. Look, Jeff. Slowpoke. It's not Springfield, but it's better than Pittston. There you go. There you go, Slowpoke. You see that? Jeff even says, "Hey, Springfield's the best." And I like Pittston the most, to tell you the truth. I like Pittston the most. Like, whenever I was up there, just the people were a lot better, and it was like everybody was kind of like nice to you over there. It felt like, at Prime, they're kind of like, "Oh, I see you didn't have the lock on the trailer, or you didn't do this, or this is what's wrong on your trailer." It's like a bunch of people, like, I don't know, trying to get ahead or something by telling on everybody. That's what I see a lot in Springfield. There's a lot of hey, I saw him not wearing his vest. There's a lot of stuff like that. The showers and okay, Calvin says the showers at Salt Lake are great. They used to not be great. They used to be stalls with a shower head, and you couldn't even put your clothes in there. Like, your clothes had to be like on the sink out there. It was just a bunch of naked truckers in shower stalls. The showers in Salt Lake City are great. Cruising out, I'll show you around. All right, bro. Like I'll probably do that. I need a pack. It's gonna take me a while to pack too, because I have nothing on my truck. I completely like moved all of my stuff out of this truck whenever I kept switching trucks every year, and I wasn't using a lot of stuff. So I was like, man, I'm taking this home. I'm taking this home. I'm taking this home. Man, if I'm over the road in my truck, that place is nice. Like, it's a mini man cave. And have to get my mattress topper out there for the bed, have to get my blankets back out there. I mean, everything. Free World says, "What's it take to do PSD, like qualifications?" To do PSD, you're gonna have to have 2 years of over the road experience with a CDL. So hold your CDL for 2 years, and then on top of that, you got the prime rules that are, you have to have good. If you're lease, you have to have good fuel cost. You're on time deliveries for company and lease. You got to be on time. Your safety record. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. If you're lease, also, I think you have to have a certain fuel mileage average or a fuel mileage cost of a certain amount, and then you can do PSD. So if you're looking at doing that, then they have classes every week. Every week. They have like 20 private showers and bunk rooms now. Let's go. Rec- Recent or no? I had mine for 5. You had yours for 5 years? So, and I'm a TNT trainer already. You're a TNT trainer already? Okay, so if you had yours for 5 years and you're already a TNT trainer, then you got to come back and take that class again. And it's a week-long class. And that's how I would do it. Like, if I was doing TNT, I would want them to be trained by me. That way, as soon as I get to the PSD phase, I know what I got. Plus, I look at it like this. If I grab a student and I do his PSD, and I'm all like, oh, this dude's a handful. This dude's not just not it. This guy's not it. Like, we're not gonna get along, whatever the case may be, because you start getting to know the PSD student. I wouldn't even tell them that there's an opportunity for me to do their TNT. I'd just let them be like, man, I hope you don't want to do my TNT, and I don't know, man. Like, I'm doing PSD, and then whenever I got them to that point, like test day comes around, by a couple days before test day, you should know, like, what their quirks are, like what they blow up on, their attitude, like, do they want to go home all the time, or do they want to be out here running? And that's the qualities I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody that's on time. I'm looking for somebody that's going to run hard. I'm looking for somebody that's not going to be uh, crying to go home all the time, is the best way to put it. Because for some reason, some people come out here and they don't understand it's over the road trucking, and like you're not going to be home every weekend. So some people are still under the impression that they will be home every weekends. But I'd find out if we're gonna do good at TNT together, and if we are, then boom, let's go do TNT. Be like, after the test, you can be like, man, you trifecta, so I'll do your TNT now. I'm just kidding. Some of my best students didn't trifecta. That's a fun fact. Some of my best students ever that I was like, man, this guy has it hands down. They don't trifecta. Some of my students that I was like, man, I cannot stand this guy and I need him off my truck. Those guys have trifected. So it's up in the air. Some people they'll trifecta and you'll be like, you know, cool. Some people will get nervous and they won't trifecta. It's all good though. Slowpoke says, man, I just got interrupted by a commercial break watching your show. Do I have commercials now? What? Moving up in the world? Slowpoke, during the commercial, did you go ahead and go get you some soda and some popcorn? That was the intermission. Free World says, from your point of view, is it more financially lucrative to do PSD or stay TNT? Uh, whoa. Well, you gotta. Are you lease or are you company? Like that's some questions that I would have for you before I answer something like that. Are you lease or are you company? And are you talking about doing TNT only, or are you talking about doing PSD only, or are you talking about doing PSD through TNT? So, like, I have some questions for you. Answer some of those, and we'll talk about it. Your lease, okay. So, like, your lease, I don't suggest. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't suggest anybody try to do just PSD only. Like, it's been something else. It really has. It's been something else. But if I were you, I would come in and I would do that PSD course, and I would do PSD through TNT, and I would take my PSD student out over the road. I would take a hit because the way they pay now, the way they pay is when you first pick up the student, you get $500, and then you don't get nothing for training them the rest of the time until they test. So the first week you get them $500. Like, cool, that's great. But the other, I'm going to take a hit the next 2 weeks. What's going on outdoors? So I'll take that hit the next week and I'll be like, you know what? I'm not making nothing to work with this dude, but I'm going to get him completely ready. Like I want him to know his clocks and his logs. I want him up on the game. So I'm going to keep him out a little longer and then I'll move into the TNT phase. That way, when we hit the TNT phase, it's like, hey, deuces, I'm going to bed. You know how I drive. I've seen how you drive. You've seen how I drive. I know you're safe. You know I'm safe. So we should be able to sleep while the other one's driving. And that way, you're not waking me up as much because you know the ropes. Still, if you need me, wake me up. But also, I can trust me, if I'm putting a guy, so take Calvin for example that was in here. So if I know somebody that's gonna train that student, then I will do a lot of extra work for them to help them out. Just like if I was gonna take somebody TNT, I'm doing that extra work to make sure that my guy is good. So like I'm gonna do that extra work on the clocks. I'm gonna do the extra work on the logs, the paperwork, how to check in. I'm gonna do that extra step because it's gonna pay off in the long run. But the money for PSD, doing PSD part, the money's not really there. That everyone says it's there. They're all like, "Oh man, yeah, the money's there. It's great. It's great. It's great." Yeah, if you test them out in 14 days, it's good. But realistically, if you have to take an extra week because the student just needs it, you're taking an L on that. And that they'll argue with you and they'll be like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. It just takes. You're still gonna get the money for testing them out." Yeah, but it's kind of like it kind of feels like I'm working for free with the dude because he took an extra week and that week I didn't get extra for working with him. So it's kind of different now. Like it's different. It used to be pretty good. Like, that we got 300 we used to get 300 a week every week that you had the student on the truck. And that was good because if I needed an extra week, boom, that I still got the 300 on top of my normal pay. So it's like I got paid to do the extra work. Now it's more like if you keep them out another week, it's free. It's free. You're not getting paid for it. He needed the extra help. But you can also view it like, you know what? He needs the extra time. I'll take the extra time, get him ready to take that test and pass it the first time instead of trying to push him. And that's where we're running. That's where I see a lot of problems coming from the whole system that they changed to is now people are more likely to be like, and I'm not going to get paid if I keep them longer. So, like, I need to test them out in 14 days. And I've been talking to some guys out there, and they're like, "Man, my fleet manager roasted me in because I've had this student for almost 14 days." Whoa! Don't bring them back till you're ready to bring them back. Uh, let's see. I was like, from your point of view, new students need to new students need to know this is on the job training. Don't set in the class don't sit in a class that you can just pop in and out of, right? Yeah, it's hands on. It's hands on out here. Uh, Bass says, as a single dude with no kids, I'm gonna be a road on the road nonstop. I don't do something much anyways. Get my permit in July and then hitting up Prime. So over being inside warehouse all the time. Yeah, right? Hey, you see the truckers coming in there, like you probably talked to them and got some good information. So, like, I don't blame you, man. You're working hard in there. If I went PSD, I do both. If I found a student that was worth taking through to the end. Yeah, and that's exactly right. Right there. That's what I'm saying. Do the student all the way through. That's probably going to be the most profitable for you. It seems like they're trying to be a driver. Yeah, I'm not going to say it, but I I see it all. Yeah. Hey, they did it like this because they felt like so there were some students that they were on PSD for like 6 to 8 weeks, and that's a little bit ridiculous. Like, I don't know anyone that it took that long to get them ready for the test. And Prime doesn't pay you after a certain number of weeks because they're like, you should be tested out. What's going on? So they ran into some issues like that, and they decided that if they just paid that 500 and a test of 1500, or if you're on the lease side, you get 500 when you pick them up and 2500 when you test them out. They figured that that would get people to bring them back and test them out faster. So it's not that they were trying to trying to rush people through it, but they were trying to make sure that people were coming back to test their student out and they weren't just wasting their time. So, Jay Tiller, what's up, bro? Juju says, "Hey, I'm looking at looking to get my CDL after high school. What company do you suggest for a new drivers? Um, do your research on all of them. Do your research on all of them. Do your research on all of them. I do think that mega carriers are kind of the way to go because you do that contract and then you don't have to pay the CDL back, the price of the school if you were going to go to, you don't have to pay it back. I do believe in that. So, unless you don't want to have the restriction on you so you can't drive manuals. If that's a big issue, then I would pay for it in a school, but definitely do a lot of research. You got to turn the student around in 3 weeks or less, otherwise you take them OTR. Turn the students in 3 weeks, otherwise you take them OTR. Yeah, for sure. Des says, honestly, I feel comfortable with driving, but I need to study pre-trip religiously. Yeah, pre-trip. Oh man, I don't get me started on pre-trip. Yeah, y'all just pre-trip. Sam says, what's some of the most bizarre things you've seen out there on the road, brother Twisted? See, it's hard for me to answer a question like that because I used to work in a psych facility, so like realistically, I've seen some pretty messed up stuff and pretty wild stuff. So stuff I see over the road that would be bizarre, that would just mess somebody up or whatever. It doesn't Nothing's really been like that. Like I'm used to like a cell full of blood, and we got to go in there and fight this dude that's like, I'm gonna do this to myself, and like I've been there and done that stuff. 13 years in corrections. Like I've seen some messed up stuff. So whenever it comes to stuff I've seen over the road, you can't really compare it. Like I've seen some major wrecks where people didn't make it. I've seen some bodies and stuff like, but that's what I already seen. 13 years in correction, so I can't really give you a good answer on that one. Um, Clutch says I'm looking to get my CDL within a year, but I've heard it's not a good time for drivers. Can you point out the reasons why? There's too many trucks out there. Straight up, there's too many trucks out there. During COVID, they did a hiring craze. They're all like, bring people in, bring people in. We're short drivers because the shelves at the store were empty. Because everybody was like, oh no, we can't go out. We got to buy everything we can. So they were trying to get trucks in here, trying to get trucks in here. Then we flooded the place. This is just my opinion. I don't know the truth, but we flooded the place with drivers and put a whole bunch of trucks out there. And then we went back to everything being normal. And then freight is saturated. I also kind of believe that soon as they also, I'm thinking that, conspiracy theory right here is maybe they're doing a thing where they're all like, we can keep the rates on freight down and not pay as much to haul our product. If there's a whole bunch of trucks waiting on a load, we can pay them cheap. What happens in Florida? You go to Florida, guess what? You're going to get a cheap paying load out of Florida. Because guess what? Lots of stuff goes in, but when you come out, there's a lot of trucks trying to get out of Florida. So they're all like, oh, there's a lot of trucks down here. We can pay them cheaper. So I think that they do keep a lot of trucks out there just to keep that freight cheaper. My opinion, my little conspiracy theory thing, I could be completely wrong. I'm probably completely wrong. I would like to be completely wrong because I would love to see freight raise up. 20 years ago, truckers were getting paid. Like they were getting paid. Like they were making bank. Anyone you knew that was a trucker made a lot of money. And you're all like, man, like truckers is the job to go. Like they make a lot of money. They're rich. That nowadays, it's not the case. Like we're all making a living. We're not suffering. We're not broke. we're not losing our house, or we're not going bankrupt or nothing, but like it's not the same. We don't compare. We're still making pretty much what we were making back then. So cost of livings went up, minimum wage went up, we devalued the dollar, all kinds of stuff, and we're making more than what we were 20 years ago, but not by much. It's not as much. I don't know. You got me on a conspiracy theory. Love the videos. Hey man, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Ginger says it seems like give and take probably had some people taking students out for more than they needed, extra pay every week. You do. Yeah, but it wasn't that much extra pay though. It was like extra $300. It wasn't that much. What a cringe, Lord. Kind of like what's going on. What's up, Twisted? Trucking career is an adventure for sure. Yes, man, it is. It's something else. It's life changing. It's life changing. What peg leg? Oh, y'all see that peg leg's up in here again. What's up, peg leg? It's been a while. Best advice for new people getting good at doing a 45 or 90 and straight line back. Best advice is get out and look. Get out and look. If you think you're getting close to a trailer, like get out and look. Might have better rates if Prime would keep from subleasing y'all's freight. Yeah, maybe so. Somebody said facts. Truck trans. Uh, there's a Trans Am truck in my neighborhood. Hooks to be a prime trade. Yeah, we merged or absorbed, whatever you want to call it, Trans Am. So yeah, we picked up a lot of drivers right there. But yeah, the best advice for backing is get out and look. Try to understand what's going on. Try to understand whichever side the truck is on is the way the back of that trailer's going. JB says not too many trucks, too many people taking low rates, and that's what it is. If you have a lot of trucks in one area, they're gonna put out their feelers. They're gonna say, "Let's see if anyone will take this freight for the X amount of dollars. Let's make it low." And if somebody takes it, guess what? They didn't have to pay a lot for that load. But if there's a few trucks there and they got that load, it has to get to their customer. Like their customer's buying it. It has to get there. So they're all like, you know what, we got to pay more. So they'll throw out the lowest price that they think that you will take it for. Now that's what they're throwing out, and somebody will grab it. The problem is if you have a whole bunch of trucks, they're kind of fighting for a load, man. They've been there, they're waiting. They might have waited a day, half a day. They're all like, I'm taking whatever they send me. Like, give it to me. Uh, oh, yeah, buddy, I knew that was you. I knew that was you. Jeff says there's plenty of money out here. You need to stay out at least 8 weeks at a time, OTR, to notice it. Yeah, and that's another thing. Not taking home time, not just parking somewhere and being like, oh man, I want to see what this town looks like. So there's a lot of stuff like that. It's about running. Trucking is about running hard. So anyone coming out here and thinking, oh man, this is gonna be my home and I'm gonna take it on vacation, and that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of me buying like a RV or whatever and traveling the U.S., I'm gonna get in a truck and that's gonna be what I do. You're mistaken, bro. Like you're mistaken. You're not gonna have any money. It's not like that. You're going to run hard and then you're going to take your vacation. Don't look at, hey, I'm going to use the truck to get places to see the world. No, that's not what's going to happen. Hurting the cost of living and inflation. Yeah, you know, it's always bad. Like we devalued the dollar so much. Like I'm telling you. Truth, just finally took my week off. First one in a year and a half. Wow, that's a long time. Two. Thanks for answering that. I'm hoping to get a job. A company driver helps compare to owner op type jobs. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome anytime. I do this every Thursday. Go. What's so twisted? What's happening, Paper Chase? Michael says, I'm the person that definitely believes in get out and look. Takes you a minute, but I would rather do that than hit something. Exactly right. And when other drivers out there see you struggling in a truck stop or somewhere, they are more likely to help the guy that's getting out to look. And they're going to be like, hey, I'll just be your get out and look. All right. I'll just tell you. And that's what they'll do. They're more likely to help you and be like, hey, stop. You're going to hit this. You know, keep the left door shut. What's up, Rocky? Better. This is dark spell. Hey, sir. What do you think of like orange? Yeah, we love orange juice. You got a nice beard. Thanks. Thanks. So, I had a couple days here. Paper Chase, you're a moderator. Where's Slowpoke at? Oh, Slowpoke, you're a moderator still. That way, some of those comments y'all can just get rid of. Jeff, you're not a moderator? There you go, Jeff. Yeah, knock out some of those comments. I like this one though. This is, your beard is delicious. Yeah, it smells like licorice too. My beard oil smells like licorice. Hey, Twisted, a newer viewer here, just asking for some tips on how to deliver the healthiest low. Yeah, see, that one actually. Bye. See, I almost read that one. Wow. Don't walk into the truck. Don't walk to truck stops barefooted. Yeah, definitely don't. You definitely don't want to be walking barefooted in the truck stops for reals. Yeah, I almost read that comment. That was not going to be a good comment. All right, later back. Almost said backwoods. Later, buddy. Be safe out there, man. Be safe. Definitely be safe. Dude, I was locked out watching commercials. He's still on the commercials? Man, why are they making you watch so many commercials? Slowpoke, you gotta get that premium, bro. That's what I got. I don't well, I don't know if it works on here, but I know for all my other videos that I watch, I've been watching a ton of trucking videos here lately. Like it's been an insane amount. Like it seems like I'm obsessed with watching trucking videos. I've been watching so many. I've been doing research on all kinds of stuff like paid hourly versus paid by the load versus percentage. I've been watching like all kinds of videos. That was a wave of troll. Yeah, I know that was a lot of them all at once. Uh, you're at Dairy Queen gonna get a shake? Oh, Jeff is a. Oh man, Slowpoke. I can't see your comments, but hey, what's up? That's what Pegleg said. Wonder why you can't see the comments. That's what I'm talking about. I have that premium too, that YouTube premium. They man, they should hook me up with some free subscriptions of it or something. Like I'll go out and I'll start plugging it. This video was brought to you by YouTube Premium. Don't have to watch commercials. You can also watch videos with your phone off. You can also have unlimited YouTube music, and you can turn your screen off while you listen to YouTube music. Skip all the songs you want. No, never a commercial. Let's go. There. Calvin's a moderator too. I just don't be putting that hammer on Hans. I haven't seen him in a while, but I know he's around. Hans is a troll that's welcomed. I'm gonna so Calvin's gonna start a YouTube channel. Hey, y'all make sure y'all follow Calvin. Slowpoke says, "What's up, Pegleg? Hit the like button." Oh yeah, I forgot. Pegleg said he couldn't see your comments because he was blind. I thought he was having issues. I thought he was having problems with his phone or whatever. You're not paying? That premium's where it's at. I'm telling you. That's right, YouTube Music app. Yeah, I love the YouTube Music app. I don't use the Spotify or whatever. I don't use none of that other stuff. I just use the what's that about? Everyone pumped for that amazing safety meeting tomorrow? I don't know. I don't go to them. I don't go to them. I don't go to the building. I'll watch them. I'll watch them on like Facebook or I'll watch it on YouTube or if I'm driving I'll listen to them but like I don't get so you're saying premium is trash, you still get ads? I don't get ads. I don't get ads on mine. Yeah, I just don't like going to safety meeting. Yeah, I couldn't get right to the expressway. Ended up in downtown was a nightmare. That's where I went for my second week on my own. Yikes. What I always tell people is and what I felt like is I didn't really learn how to back up until I had no trainer there. Like if there's something that changes, like something changes when you have no trainer there and it's all on you. I was like, whew. Like you were all pumped and your trainer's all like, "Yeah, it's time I upgrade you." And you're like, "What? I'm not ready." Then you get upgraded and you're on your own for nobody to help you from there. That's whenever I was like, "Oh, I'm stressed. I'm stressed." Oh, you were joking. You went to one and it was freaking weird. Do you still see Rex? Rex doesn't work here anymore. Rex has left, and I've communicated with him through text once or twice, but Rex does not work here anymore. Great guy, great guy. He was doing excellent at training. I helped him out a lot whenever he started training, and like I took him under my wing and I was helping him, and he was becoming an excellent instructor. He was gonna be great, but he ended I guess he went somewhere else. He's been out of here for like, I don't know, probably a year. Rex has been gone for like a year from the company. Rumor on the street is he bought his own truck, but I don't even know if that's true. I didn't ask him. I just said, "Hey, what happened?" And he was all like, "Well, I got some stuff I got to take care of, yada yada yada." He told me some personal stuff, and we talked for a minute, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, you got to do what you got to do." So my PSD trainer had me straight and ready to go. Hey, that's right. That's right, Paper Chase. Paper Chase, you were a pretty good student, man. Like you were. I was sad to see that you left Prime. Really, I was wanting to see you become a trainer too. I really was. I was more excited. I was also excited about seeing you and your wife's YouTube channel. I thought that was gonna be cool. Like the name is freaking great. Just the Paper Chase Trucking, like that name is just great because that's what we do. We're chasing the paper. Like it's a great name. Mr. Mayhem says, "I'm trying to sell my truck. If anyone's interested, go for it." Like, is my mic picking that sound up? I hear my daughter playing her flute, so I'm hoping that it's not picking it up really loud. But I had to get that money, man. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You had an opportunity and you took it. Like I can't be mad about that. I would have done the same thing. Hey, find me a good opportunity and I'm going for it. NBA never broke again. Oakdale, what's up, Oakdale? I've been watching your videos, Oakdale. In fact, tonight I was at the store. My daughter. Oh, there we go. There we go. But we were at the store and I seen some of that Sprite tea that you did on your TikTok um, short. So I bought some of those. That stuff is not good. I didn't like it. You you told me it was good, but it wasn't. Hit that like button and use Peg Leg's leg to ring the bell to Rebel. Uh, yeah, it is not loud. Okay, good, good. I thought it was coming through the speaker. I was like, oh gosh, y'all are probably not liking that. Yeah, I don't know what happened with my Facebook. Mr. Nacho says, yeah, yeah, it don't hit. Sprite tea sounds awful, kind of like flaming hot Mountain Dew. They got a flaming hot Mountain Dew. I saw somebody saying that they had flaming hot pickle chips or something like that. Flaming hot pickle flavor or something like that too. Yeah, it wasn't bad to you. Like I didn't care. I just took a sip of it though, and I was like, nah, that's not for me. Two of my kids were like, we like it, and me, the wife, and my other daughter, we were like, nope. Paper Chase says it's horrible too. Uh, Tell your son he should pick up some bagpipes, right? Dude, I wouldn't mind learning how to play the bagpipes, but I'm not gonna be no professional at it. I forgot to change my profile pic on here since I switched companies. It's all good. I can't even see it anyways. I got some new glasses coming in. I had to get an eye exam, so I ended up having to get a stronger pair of glasses, and they're gonna be progressive lenses. So like at the top part, I'm gonna see far. The middle part, I'm gonna see kind of mid range, and the bottom part, I'm gonna be reading. Let's go, Paper Chase, with the $10 super chat. Get some of that fancy milk. Let's go. Thank you, brother. Thank you. But yeah, I had to get some new glasses, so I don't know. I never had progressive lenses, but I was like, then they also told me, they said, "Hey, since you're a truck driver, we got this new what's it called whenever your glasses change colors when you go in the sun, translation or trans whatever it is, but my glasses are going to change colors, and the new lenses will actually work through the windshield of vehicles. So the old ones, they said, wouldn't work through the windshield of the vehicle. It wasn't bright enough to change them colors to the shades. This new glass is supposed to do that, so we'll see what happens. LaThomas says, "My husband drives for Prime Inc. He can do the training just to train me. I want to come to Prime Inc. for teams." Uh, yes, he can. He can. He cannot do the PSD part though. So we got some awesome PSD instructors, but have them, like, you will get trained. Well, I take that back. If he has been driving for 2 years or more, he can do the PSD part. But if he has not, then you will have to do the PSD part with somebody else. But he can do the TNT part. So he can do the TNT part as long as he has 6 months of experience. One chip Mountain Dew would be fun. Oh man, don't bring up the one chip challenge. That was horrible. Michael says, "What time do you try to start your clock each day?" It just depends. It really depends. Like, I set my own schedule with what I do, and truckers, we set our own schedule. So I I I try to start my clock, or I try my schedule for my students is 6 a.m. till we're done for the day. So that's pretty much whenever it starts. Rain Man says, "Good evening. Why is everyone at Prime jumping ship?" Everybody has their own reasons, and Prime's always had a turnover rate, so like there's always been a turnover rate. Just like any place you go, there's a turnover rate. Like when I worked at the state, there was a big turnover rate. So, people find better opportunities for them. They do their research and find some better opportunities, and they go for it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Oakdale says, "Is it's still my red truck from the last company. I'm in a white Volvo now in the month or two. Talking about putting me in a 2024 axle Western Star. Let's go. Moving up in the world. Peg leg. So your eye glasses will allow you to get automatic sunglasses. Yeah, automatic sunglasses. I'm a morning person, definitely not a night driver." Yeah, my thing is get all your. I've always been like this. I get all my work done, and then I'm able to just chill. So I want to get all my work done first, and then I'm chilling the rest of the day. That's my goal. I've always been like that. Everywhere I worked, let's get all the work done so we can chill out. Uh, Groovy Piece is Prime accepting reefers from South Florida at the moment. Last I heard, not South Florida, but I will tell you, go ahead and put in your application because I've seen people like them let maybe like five come in and just send them in. So I've seen them do that before. So put in an application, try it out. We'll see what happens. Like, don't give up on it. Keep trying. Paper Chase says, I love Prime. I got a better opportunity, but drop and hook situation was what really made me look around. Michael Fishin says, I do flatbed. I'm still learning. I've noticed after around 7:30 at night, parking is hard to come by. Yes, always, always hard. Oh, whenever I'm over the road, I'm trying to run that midnight to about 8 in the morning shift. That's what I try to do. And then after about 8, I park around 8. I'm in bed. I sleep for 10, 8, 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever. I get up. I got some free time to do whatever till midnight rolls around. So that's kind of how I avoided the parking situation. Nobody likes to fight for parking or find parking whenever they're packed. It sucks. Like you're going in truck stops just hoping to get lucky and somebody's pulling out so you can take their spot. Daniel says, "Do you still approve Prime for a CDL training?" Yeah, yeah. Oh, nothing's changed with me. Like nothing's really like changed with me on where like I'm not leaving Prime. Not like I don't say that I'm never going to leave Prime, and I'm not saying that I don't ever check into other companies because I always check into other companies. You never know what will happen. But as for getting the CDL, like look at Prime. Like it's a great place to start. It's a great place to get that CDL. You're gonna pay your dues, of course, and you're gonna pay your dues once you get that year, that 2 years, whatever, if you're ready to leave and go somewhere else, then go somewhere else. Find out what works for you. But the start of your career, getting that CDL and getting that years of experience, that's number one right there. You do that year of experience, then you're better. But you do 2 years of experience, now you're talking. Like once you get to the 2 years of experience, that's whenever you're locked in. Like you can pretty much go anywhere and get a good paying job. Like with less than 2 years, it's gonna hurt. Because the thing is, it's gonna cost the companies money to pay for the insurance because you don't have as much experience. So the insurance companies view you as if you have less than 2 years, we're going to charge you this month much. If you got more than 2 years, we're going to charge you only this much. So they're going to pay you less because it's kind of like they're going to take some of the money that they could be paying you to pay that insurance. So you're going to get the lower paying jobs. Once you get over that 2 years, they don't have to pay that extra for your insurance. So they're like, let's roll it back to the driver. It's kind of like that. Peg leg automatic. Show that new tattoo. Shoot, I got a lot of new tattoos. Really, I got these three. Shit, I got these three, and then I got the Magic Ninja Entertainment down here on my leg since you've been on my truck, and then I still got the rest. Couple of new tattoos, but yeah, I got see on that part, that skin right there, that Ghostbusters. It did not do good. That skin right there, and I guess from me moving my hand around, it didn't heal right. So it's not looking the best Ghostbusters ever. Like it's not looking good. The My trucker guy's looking good, and the letters right here, they're looking good, but the Ghostbusters is not looking so hot. Because I've been looking at Daniel says because I've been looking at Prime for a while. And like I said, it's a great place to start. It is a excellent place to start. It's a excellent. I believe in the training program. It's the highest paid training program there is. So, you know, that's a bonus right there by itself. It's a longer training program, but does it hurt to get some extra time behind the wheel with somebody that can help you? Doesn't hurt. And it flies by. It may be 30K miles during TNT, but it flies by. So Jay says, when I finish TNT, do you think it will be possible to get a regional position, or will I have to stay OTR for a year or so? It just depends on the location you're in, and talk to your fleet manager about it. Talk to your fleet manager about it. If he can, he can. If he can, he can't. But be looking like, hey, I'm gonna go OTR. Even if you're in a regional position like that, you're really not going home as much as you think you are. Um, I know a lot of people that are regional and they hardly ever get to home. They'll be parked at a truck stop in their hometown and they're all like, "Man, I'm only here for 10 hours. I got to go." So, it's not like that. Oakdale Flatbedder says at this company, it's in your orientation paperwork. We are not allowed to drive between midnight and 4 a.m. What, Oakdale? Whoop whoop. Michael says, "Yeah, I do my best to start no later than 6 the other day, and I got screwed on the person informed me I couldn't be unloaded until 10 a.m. Had to wait to start my day and had to run later than I like to." Yeah, no, I get you. Whoop whoop. Welcome in, Gremlin. Um, yeah, and that happens. Stuff like that happens. You can try your best to run that perfect shift, midnight till 10 a.m. or midnight till 8 a.m. I mean, but you are gonna run into some stuff like that ever so often, and you can work your clocks around to get it pushed back to where you were in that groove again. It's not hard to do. It just takes some time to do it. What mountain pass scares you the most? In my opinion, so in my opinion, Vale is like the one that I don't like doing the most. But my scariest experience is the Black Mountain in North Carolina. Like that thing is not playing around. I tried the reverse inf. I tried the reverse offset and eliminated the right cone. Which right cone? Like at the very which right cone? You'll get it, security guy. Don't worry, you'll get it. Your trainer will help you out. Well, yeah, North Carolina Black Mountain, my truck died on that thing. Like it shut off. It said it was overheating. It shut off. And I was going straight for the escape ramp because I was like, what else am I gonna do? Like truck just shut off. So it was pretty scary, but I ended up stopping right before it, and then like I was like, where'd all my antifreeze go? Like I did my pre-trip, like I wasn't leaking it, so I filled it back up, went down the mountain more, shut off again at the bottom. I opened up the hood, no antifreeze. I'm looking underneath the truck, it's not dripping nowhere. I had to fill it back up and ended up being a hose back by my APU at the time. Back on the older truck, the hose it shared a line and it was all the all the antifreeze and coolant was falling into the side panel on the passenger side. So I put it in Freightliner and they couldn't even find the leak. Finally, they just started taking off all the panels, and when they took off that back corner one by the APU, boom, they found all the coolant. It went everywhere. And there was a hose clamp that they said it looked like it wasn't there from the factory, that it was never put on it, and the elevation change popped it off. But it scary. It's scary. Real scary. The 100 foot, the 60, the 40, then the 20-foot cones. I was going to come to Prime, but they stopped company tanker positions. Oh man, that sucks. You could have went reefer or something and switched later on, unless you just wanted to do it that much. Best. Oh, I lost my place. Lost my place. Finish TNT. All right. I don't work at Prime, but I've had 6 weeks with a trainer. Trust me, soak up all the information you can. Exactly. Soak, like, take it all in as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. I was gonna get into trucking. I have seen most of the truck auto gearbox. Some of the manuals you'll need to learn it, or do you have to? If you're not getting onto a manual truck and you're getting onto automatic, then you don't have to learn it at all. Got my tanker endorsement. Prime said I can do lease operator. Yeah, no matter what you do at Prime, you have to have your tanker's endorsement. It's a have to have it. Nothing to be scared of, these new automatic trucks with cruise control. Pegleg says I need a. Hey, the other day, one of the cones got hit. We had to have a moment of silence for it because it was gone. It was a goner. Calvin. Yeah, we had a moment of silence for that one, but Calvin says I actually passed the offset and still can't do it. Calvin, I was talking about you at the beginning of the live about that, but it's because their lines on the ground, man. I told you. So Calvin was out there and he was all like, "Man, I can still do it. I can still do it." And we were talking about him and two other drivers that were seasoned drivers. And I was all like, "You can put all four of y'all, my student right now, and the other three of y'all could have a competition right now. Y'all each get to do it one time. Forward offset, reverse offset." And I said, I put all my money on Jordan. Or my student, my bad. I shouldn't have said the name. But I was like, I'll put all my money on my student. And Calvin was over there. He was all like, man, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get in there. So guess what he does? He jumps up in there and he's all like, I'm going to do it. And I was over there. Hit the cone. Hit the line. Hit the line. Hit the line. I'm pretty sure that you were getting frustrated, but hey, it's because there are lines on the ground, and we can back into the tightest, hardest dock ever and not have to pull up and just put it in there. But whenever it's just lines on the ground, that's the hardest place you got to back into, because that is not actual stuff that's going to cause damage. So it's like, run it over. It's just a line on the ground. So that was the issue you were having. Whenever my student treats that as like a wall or a vehicle or something like that, they're all like, I know if I hit that, then he's gonna tell me about it, and he's gonna be like, what, you think you can hit a truck and just keep on backing up? You think that that's right? So yeah, I fastened the 100 footer. So yeah, it's all it was. Lines on the ground that represent vehicles or walls or whatever. You're even learning if you eat the cone in reverse. I mean, you fishing says, mean you are even learning if you do eat the cones on the reverse offset. Hey, look, my first day. So I tell my students, I'm all like, hey, the first day of backing out there, I'm looking for two things that day. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna do the straight line back. I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for you to pull up the way I teach you, number one. Number two is don't use the brake pedal while you're backing up. And I'm all like, I don't care if you're running over the cones, lines, whatever. I'll move the cones out the way and make a big pile out of them. If you can do those two things, I know you're going to start learning it. So, and I tell them all, I'm all like, you're going to want to go right between the lines, and you're going to get mad and frustrated that it's not going through there, and you're going to start getting irritated. You are going to be harder on yourself than I'm hard on you. I'm just looking for you to do those two things that first day. If you can do those, I don't even care about the straight line back. If I can get you to do those two things, then you will build the eye hand coordination I need. And that's how it goes. Like, you do those two things, I'm happy the first day. Second day, we're going to be pushing even harder, because if we were doing those two things, now we got to learn the next thing. Hit that like button. Oakdale Flatbetter says, I still have my tanker endorsement now. I got to get doubles and triples endorsement. Des says, did you have to get your passport? My state has enhanced driver's license, so we don't have to have a passport to enter Canada. No, you don't have to have a passport. You don't have to have a passport. They would like you to have a passport because then you can go to Canada, but I don't want a reason for them to be able to send me to Canada in the wintertime, because my luck is always you're going to get sent to Canada in the wintertime, and I'm not big on that. I don't want that. Like, no. Michael says, I've done the forward offset going around people at the rest stop, but have yet to do the reverse offset, I think. You know, it's the same. That reverse offset, it is just there for you to learn the movements of the vehicle. It's for the examiner to know if you can control the vehicle, if you understand how it moves. It's not that big of a deal. Like, believe it or not, you're always kind of doing a reverse offset at one point, because you're always going to end up in, or a lot of times you're going to end up in like that 45-degree angle, and that's kind of the angle we need going into that offset. And it's not going to be every time you do that offset, it's not going to be a perfect 45-degree angle. Just like when you're backing in a truck stop, you're coming into that spot. If you're going too hard, if you're curving it in too much, you got to get that truck in front of it. Guess what? You're in that 45-degree angle. Not exactly a 45, but somewhere in that area. So it's the same thing. It's just about being able to manipulate the trailer and move it around and control it. Uh, Calvin says, I have fun. Plus, I gave the student a boost of confidence. Yeah, Calvin, so what you really taught him, because he was watching how you pulled up, and he really found out that, hey, I need to pull up exactly the way you taught me, because I saw what happened to him. So, at Prime Yard is The trainer, also the examiner. No, no, the trainer. There we have actual hired prime prime personnel that's actually went and got certified to test in the state of Missouri. So it is those guys right there. They're not trainers. They cannot work with your student at all. They can just go test them. Peg legs. So don't get the enhanced one. Hey, later, Paper Chase. See you next week, brother. I've been to Canada 8 times in the past year. I'm done. Yeah, I'm not trying to go to Canada. They have different logs and different roles and stuff, and like I really don't want to mess with it. Well, guys, that's it for tonight. I'll see y'all next Thursday, hopefully. But I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Enjoyed all the questions. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out of here.